What's up, guys? This is Matt from Raw Nutrition. I'm here with Will today, who is the head formulator of our Raw Test product. I wanted to get into why we made this product, why I felt it was important, a little bit of my own story. And ultimately, this category, especially when we entered into the sports nutrition space, it was a category that I was very hesitant about because it's highly criticized within a lot of the different populations within the physique building community and the performance community, because oftentimes these products have been, they underdeliver, they don't show on blood work, and they ultimately are just a cash cow for companies to make money that really doesn't have any back-end support, any data. So when we started to research and go into building a test product, when Will and I were talking, I just really wanted to make sure that this product actually delivered on its claims and it actually helped people. And that ultimately was the goal within what we did. So within our population, within the people that trust in us, we have different types of consumers. We have people that have been on androgen cycles that are looking to shift off of androgen cycles or possibly bridge androgen cycles. We have people like myself that were once on and are now wanting to just kind of go into more of being a dad role and being healthy and looking about, into the longevity of my life. And then we also have, and we want to support our own family, our fathers, men as they age. So when we were looking at this category, we wanted to create a product that wasn't a detriment within people's health, and it was something that supported whatever those three main categories were something, whether it's an athlete, a performance enhanced athlete that wanted to bridge, wanted to essentially come off, even help support HRT. And that's essentially where I'm at right now. So this is all anecdotal. I do have starting blood work to support where I started. But I've been kind of in this phase of working to getting completely off of HRT. Essentially just because I wanted it to be a challenge more for myself to see if I could do it and to see how I felt. So through my surgery process that I started in January, I backed my HRT down to 100 milligrams every 10 days. And by March, I was starting to feel more of that rundown. My recovery was less, my soreness was greater, and then we started to test this product in March. And what I've noticed, and now there's two things. Obviously, the more I trained, because I came from an untrained state, the more that I trained while using this, my recovery time lessened. That could be because of the product. It also could be because adding frequency back, my delayed onset muscle soreness can lessen, especially within consistent exercise and exercise selection. So I'm obviously keeping that in mind, but from a performance standpoint, from a sexual health standpoint, I've definitely felt a benefit. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of get into some questions that you guys have driven as to why we created this product. I do want Will to kind of get into his thought process about what I just touched on as far as the three different categories as an athlete, as somebody transitioning from an athlete to post-athlete, as well as the aging male when it comes to why we built this.
To your point, a lot of the people that we feel like are engaging with our brand and that are going to be taking this product, at least initially, we're likely going to be having a lot of people that have been on or are currently coming off androgen cycles that want to reclaim their normal testosterone levels. We're going to be having a lot of young adults, especially males, that are looking to optimize lean muscle and testosterone. And so I think that what a lot of companies in this product category within the sports nutrition space try to do is, boost testosterone as high as possible, which is in one way what we try to do with this product in boosting testosterone past what your normal baseline healthy limit would be, assuming you were already at a normal baseline. But we also didn't want to make this a product that we're going to say, oh, this is a replacement for something like an androgen cycle. Sure. We wanted to make it something that, we don't recommend that people take it for long periods of time. I think you should run with the suggested use on the back of the bottle. But what we wanted to do was create a product that is, in theory, right? So you can get blood work to support this, but in theory, going to boost testosterone levels past what your normal baseline would support a healthy and potentially, hopefully, optimal sex hormone profile for building strength and lean muscle tissue. So this product is specifically targeted for young adult males who are looking to, or who are avid lifters and looking to get stronger and build lean muscle tissue. Who we don't recommend this product for would be, say, pregnant women and also developing children, male or female, because when we make a product like this, what we don't want to do is, even though we want to inject novelty into the product, we want ingredients that not only have either animal or clinical data to support their effects so that we can say, hey, this may or may not be happening. But we also went through and we looked at toxicology and safety data to make sure the ingredients in this product were safe for human consumption. And there are some ingredients like the Breonia Liciniosa. It does have toxicology data supporting that it's likely a teratogen for, say, a fetus. And that's why we wouldn't recommend it for women or developing children. However, all the other data, all the toxicology and clinical data, or excuse me, not clinical, rodent data, because in some of these ingredients, well, with toxicology data, you're mostly looking at rodent data as it is, but it's all suggestive that it's healthy for normal adult males at the dose we put it in. And there are certain like medical websites and stuff that state the same. So I think we're pretty clear about who this product is for and then who it's not for. But I think what we did was we were able to take a product with a lot of ingredients people recognize, some that they don't. But I think what we did was inject a reasonable amount of novelty into a product that we do expect to work and show up on somebody's blood reports.
Yeah. And two, again, one of my goals within these videos, within this product, is to be completely transparent with you guys. So within that transparency aspect, one of the things that we don't have control over and we don't think this product is going to support, actually we know it's not going to think, is luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, so that's one of the areas that I've been personally working through myself is how I'm going to regenerate those within incorporating this product, because we do fully believe the ingredient profile and the ingredient selection in this product is going to help elevate testosterone, free testosterone, and aid in the performance benefits of that. But when you completely remove exogenous testosterone from the equation, you need to be doing something to stimulate your natural production, which that's the part of this that isn't fully clear yet, in terms of what we don't want people to do is just to come off of an androgen cycle, off of a HRT, replacement dosage, use this and not do anything to support their natural production in terms of LH, FSH. So I want to make that clear as well. The last thing I want to do is paint a picture for you guys that isn't true. I think the transparency within this product is very important. Will, do you want to touch on just a few of the ingredients that you selected in terms of like why you chose them and then the benefits that we can look for from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think going like straight at some of the headliners of this product, I think we already mentioned the name Breonia Liciniosa. That one is becoming increasingly more popular within sports nutrition. I know that a lot of people who are looking at other popular companies within the sector that we operate in with Raw are going to see that ingredient, but we have it at, to my knowledge, the highest dose on the market and the highest safe dose on the market. And the way that we actually chose that dose is there is animal data using this ingredient, and there is no clinical data in this ingredient. I wouldn't, and for people that like to poo-poo that right away, like, of course we can't say that, yes, the same oral effects are going to happen with a human, but there are equations you can use to get a human equivalent dose. And based off the rodent data, we took the highest human equivalent dose. I think the data we went off of was rat specifically, so the human equivalent is different than if it would have been a mouse model. But we have the highest dose in a study that showed dose-dependent effects with the Breonia Liciniosa raising testosterone levels as well as luteinizing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone. You see companies using it, I think, at 1 gram and as high as 1.5 grams, and we use it at a very specific dose of 1.65 or 1 gram or 1,655 milligrams, 1.655 grams.
Right.
And that dose was a specific conversion from that study showing dose-dependent effects. So to my knowledge, we have the highest safe dose of that on the market. Like, so the toxicology data would support its safety going that high for the duration that we recommend people taking it for. As far as another headline product, we use a patented form of ashwagandha, KSM 66. That one is popular. A lot of people tend to know a lot about that one, and we used it at the dose. And we also recommend the servings being taken, specifically how it was used in the study, showing that it supports testosterone levels in healthy male weightlifters. So it's at 600 milligrams in the product. The study shows 600 milligrams total in a day, but split up between 2 doses, 300 milligrams in the morning, 300 milligrams in the evening. And there are several different types, several different types of ashwagandha, different patented versions of ashwagandha that show rises in testosterone in different male models, be those infertile males and also healthy males and healthy male weightlifters. KSM 66 has the most data to support that. And I mean, really in general, ashwagandha is it's a pro-fertile agent. Yeah. So I mean, outside of just its effects in raising testosterone, which actually its testosterone raising effects are part of its indirect pro-fertile effects. More of its direct pro-fertile effects are the antioxidant activity that promote increased sperm count and health in men. And that's been shown in several clinical studies and in several rodent studies. And because that ingredient has so much research to back it, we chose that as one of the ingredients to headline this product with the patented Breonia Liciniosa. I think another ingredient that is actually really cool that not a lot of people know about is the moiropoama. That's an herb from Brazil. It's classified as an aphrodisiac. And that ingredient specifically doesn't have data supporting increases in testosterone, but what it does have is data promoting pro-erectile effects in men. So it's supposed to boost libido, and that's what we mean when we call something an aphrodisiac. Sure. And so what we did was we got the closest extract we could to research showing that after 2 weeks of administration in otherwise healthy men, that it increased erectile frequency and quality. So it was important for us that we added an ingredient like that into this product, because outside of just raising testosterone, what we want this product to be is pro-fertile, pro-erectile, pro-testosterone, everything that a male would want, where you would say, yeah, if I had a little bit more of this, where I think most of us would say, yeah, if I had a little bit more of this, I think my quality of life would go up.
Increase, yeah.
Yeah, we put in rosemary leaf extract that's standardized to ursolic acid. Excuse me. I know that ursolic acid in the past and still now is sometimes a little bit questionable of an ingredient because orally it has low bioavailability, but it does have research at the dose we're using it at, which would be a total of 450 milligrams of ursolic acid a day. In the human research I'm thinking of, they split that up into 150 milligrams 3 times a day. But because of all the ingredients we have in this product, we recommend people taking it, taking the dose of 8 capsules, splitting that in half, day, yeah. 4 capsules in the morning, 4 capsules in the evening to split it up. The reason we do that, excuse me, the reason we do that is because with most herbal extracts that have some kind of efficacy, like we're not dealing with drug potency. And so the half-lives of these compounds aren't as long if you were taking a pharmaceutical. Right. So, yeah, most studies where you see increases in testosterone or, say, weight-lowering effects or whatever, what have you, if they're using herbs, a lot of times they're actually dosed multiple times a day to get a specific daily dose.
One of the things that you said that I think is important is the fact that we wanted to put ingredients in here that drove something that the individual could recognize. Now, obviously, we always encourage that you support this with blood work, but like, for example, from the libido aspect, we wanted that to be in place. From the performance aspect, we wanted that to be in place because we think it's important that you feel a difference, because a product like this, if you don't feel it, obviously you're not going to repeat and use it again. I'm going to ask this, and I know this is one of your pet peeve questions, but I know it's going to be asked. Should this be consumed with or without food?
I don't think that it particularly matters.
Right.
Some of the ingredients in here, they may favor absorption with food. Other ones not so much, but ultimately, I think that any efficacy that somebody gets out of this product, the differences are going to be marginal to non-existent, whether you're choosing to take it with or without food. And it's not really so much a pet peeve question of mine. It's just when supplement companies are telling you take with food or without food, a lot of times there's not any real merit behind it.
Back it up, yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. If you're dealing with, say, a single ingredient that's well known or has data to support its increased bioavailability with food, then yeah, I think it's important that we list that on the suggested use part of a label. But when we're dealing with a multi-ingredient product like this, and most of the ingredients don't really have that data to support their fat solubility or their increase in bioavailability with a meal, then we just leave that up to the consumer, because I think the differences that you're going to get from the product, there aren't really going to be any. So whether you want to take this with or without food, that's up to you. I know some people have a problem with taking zinc on an empty stomach, and even though the dose of zinc we put in here is not very high, people with a sensitive stomach may want to consume this product with food.
Okay. You kind of went into this, and I think some specificity of the individual matters, but what age would you recommend that individuals start using this?
Absolutely no lower than the age of 18. But even then, I would recommend...
Based off of development.
I would recommend that people over the age of 21. And granted, I always play things way safer because I kind of come from, I have a background in sports nutrition, but also I came directly here from the longevity field. So
Sure.
I place more of an emphasis on health. So I think best case scenario, if you're over the age of 25 years old and you want to give this a shot, go for it. If you're under the age of 25, be cautious and talk to your primary healthcare provider, assuming that they're knowledgeable about these things, and get their input. But I would be even more cautious for people under the age of 21, and then certainly no lower than 18, because if you're 18 years old, and I mean, in the absence of a disease or condition, odds are your testosterone levels are just fine.
Right.
And you really don't want to do anything. Even if we're saying that we're giving products to support somebody, I wouldn't give anything that would affect hormone levels to such a degree where you could potentially disrupt something in somebody who's developing. So no younger than 18. If you're between 18 and 21, maybe even up to 25, then speak to your doctor, ask them if it's something that you could safely take. And if they give you their permission, then that risk assessment is then on you, but no younger than 18.
Okay, what about females?
I would play it even more cautious with females, but I would say if you're under the age of 21 as a female, then it's not something I would try.
Okay.
And I also don't know that I would take this if you're just a regular female looking for general health products. But if you're an avid weightlifting female and your goal is to boost your testosterone, I wouldn't play cautious with the word maximize, but just boost your testosterone and try to maximize the building of lean muscle tissue, then over the age of 21, again, talking to your primary healthcare provider, then maybe this is a product that you want to give a shot to. But if you're not a female that falls within that category, then this might be a product that I would steer away from.
Now I'm excited about this, but we are working on a muscle signaling product as well, which that concern for females would be different in terms of it's not really there. So for those of you girls that are looking for something to boost performance, that would be something to consider down the road as well. Just so people understand on a very basic level, what's the basic MOA of this product in terms of what can they expect? How is it working?
Well, there's a lot of different mechanisms of action. We try not to put too much redundancy into a product, and every ingredient is chosen for a reason and should, in theory, be acting on a different pathway or be complementary to one pathway or another. So we have products that have data supporting their use for directly boosting testosterone levels, for raising gonadotropin releasing hormone, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. But we also have ingredients like fenugreek has 5-alpha reductase properties, so reducing the conversion of testosterone to DHT. And then we also have something like DIM, which it doesn't act as an aromatase inhibitor like a lot of people tend to think it does, but what it does is it aids in estrogen metabolism, and it helps favor a more favorable estrogen profile, specifically in males. So some females tend not to react very well to DIM, and that depends on how they're metabolizing estrogen down certain pathways. But for men, DIM at the dose we put it in tends to be safe on most occasions. So helping, like I said, helping to aid in estrogen metabolism and not inhibiting the conversion of testosterone to estrogen altogether, because both you and I know that can lead you down a pretty bad road pretty quickly. Yeah. So what we did was we chose a bunch of different ingredients that act on different pathways to help favor a hormonal profile that would support strength and lean mass in males and probably in a large group of females.